is Shooting the Shit with Baldy, and I'm here with the guys from Abaddon. So what's been going on, guys?
Bro. Drinking beer.
Yeah, we're all fighting a hangover or getting ready to give ourselves one today.
It's the idea.
Right?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen today, for sure.
So what you guys been up to? I haven't seen all of you guys together, I think, since Mountain Mayhem. I think it's the first time we've all seen each other since
Yeah, that was our last show. It was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely was.
Getting down new material,
Oh, yeah?
new songs.
Just write music.
Good deal. You guys got some new music coming out soon, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll be going to the studio August 3rd, Drift Loud Audio with Kyle Bissell.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Monster Kyle, he likes the monster.
Oh, dude, Kyle's a monster with recording, too.
He's got that sweet
Syraxis.
stash.
Syraxis has
As
got
soon as
some
he gets
good
back
music.
from Area 51, you know, he plans on recording us.
Nice. Yeah, we're just hanging out. This is the first time that I've actually had a full band on here, so I'm glad you guys all came. Thank you for coming out. We're going to jump right on into this. What do you guys think about the current status of the scene in this area? Now, when I say scene, I'm meaning fans coming out to see you guys. What do you guys think it's like right now? Because some bands will play, get a good crowd, and then they'll sit and wait for the other bands to come up, and then there's no crowd. So what do you guys think about that right now?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard for our genre, really. It's you see a lot of people show up for the more rock shows and stuff, but it's like, I think since more the digital ages came in, that people would rather just watch YouTube videos than show to shows, and that's, I mean, that's a sad thing, really.
I've actually caught some slack on that because people got pissy with me a little while back because I was going to see all you guys play.
And it's hard to make it to shows sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, we all have
work-
jobs and
Work gets in the fucking way, man.
work.
9 to 5 in it with kids.
Yeah,
I know the
I
drill.
mean, I feel bad a lot of times. Like, I wanted to go to the Skydweller show last night.
Right.
Couldn't make it because I just got off work at 7 that night. So
Right.
it's hard to do.
Well, I hear you.
Yeah, it sucks a lot of times, you know, like, I'll see that, you know, our buddies like Signal Faust are playing, or, you know, Shipley's got a show, or Skydweller has a show, Cause of Ruin has a show, and every time it's like, I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got 5 kids, so I mean, that's
Yeah.
how it goes.
I hear you. I got 4.
If I can find a babysitter, I show up to shows, and,
Right.
I have a great time. I have no problem supporting our buddies, or even people I've never seen, which is even the best part,
Right.
you know. But it makes it almost impossible at his age to actually find time to go to some of those shows. So I don't feel bad when people can't come to my show. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, hey, that's no big deal, you know, like I get it, life happens.
Right.
But it's like, you know, there's no need to get butthurt because someone didn't come to your show.
No, no.
It's live, man.
Oh, I don't know how many times I've sold tickets to a show and then 3 people bought tickets out of 50 that bought tickets showed up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Part of life, man.
Oh yeah, the worst around here for us, I think, is the winter.
Well,
You'll
it's
sell
a-
tickets to a show, and then everybody makes it there, and then 4 of your friends show up, and everybody else got snowed in. You know, and you're playing to cobwebs out in the fucking scene. So
Yeah,
rather
I
than
believe though
live-
if you work hard enough and you market yourself right, you can draw, and you don't have to
Oh, yeah.
depend on certain people all the time. I think a lot of that with like people getting butt hurt is they depend on like the same people to show up all the time instead of trying their best to market to everyone.
I have seen that be a big problem in this area here because it'd be the same 20 people you're trying to market
Yeah.
yourself to, and you can't get nowhere.
And I mean that is cool that they
Right.
you know
It goes
they
down the
show
same
us
line
stuff.
also of playing the same places 20 times in St. Louis as opposed to like what we were getting at earlier is the venues are closing up around here left and right. Like I've mentioned several times in the past 3 years doing this show on and off that we've lost, and just in Mount Vernon alone, we've lost 5 venues.
Yeah.
And then the Crossing, you know, they've gotten to the point where they will barely book anybody anymore that's of our genre.
Yeah.
I mean, Cause of Ruin versus Abaddon, yeah, Cause of Ruin's going to get booked. Abaddon's heavier. You know what I mean? You guys are going to have that problem with some of these venues around here because you get the we don't want to scare our locals away bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's no disrespect to the venue.
No.
It's no disrespect to the venue whatsoever. It's just
no, and if we had a more radio friendly, you could say sound,
Yeah.
like I mean, a lot of the places around here are like VFWs and Legions and stuff, and we just can't play places like that.
well, the Legion like used to
Not
let
that we
us.
wouldn't play,
Right.
We would.
Well, it used to be if you rented the Legion couldn't say about what you were going to do in there. Like if you rented a VFW
Yeah.
or a Legion or something like
Yeah.
that. But we don't even have that in here in Mount Vernon anymore. We've got the American Legion and we've got the AmVets.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We lost our Moose, we lost
Moose
our VFW,
lost, yeah.
we lost our Eagles Club.
I remember going to a couple shows at
That
Yeah.
just sucks, man.
My very first CD release from Spirit of Chaos was at the Moose Lodge.
yeah,
here in Mount
and
Vernon.
I think I saw Peripheral there a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good shows. Yeah,
Just-
It might have something to do with the climate of the laws these days because I'm old and back in my day people came out to shows in droves because they're a little more lenient possibly back then than now.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
What do you mean by lenient? But in what way?
it's just a different world these days. It's like
Oh, yeah.
the way
It's
they
viral now.
I won't say where, but there's a certain club we were at. There were cops swarming the place. I mean, I can understand.
What town was this in?
Heron. Was that Heron show? I mean, I want people to be safe, obviously.
Yeah,
to come
yeah.
see our shows. I'm not trying to promote that. It's just it's a whole different world based from then till now. As far
Right.
as some people tell me, oh, I'm scared to go because I want to have a few beers, and they don't want to
Well,
even take.
We've
the
had that
chance.
problem. A lot of
That-
people wouldn't go to Fubar because of that shooting that happened there. Right
that's
after that happened,
that's
nobody
a lot
would go
of the
there.
problem with like our area. Like we don't have like you don't see Uber around here.
Now, people don't know where you're from.
You know
so.
what I'm? Oh, from like around Southern Illinois, Mount Vernon area.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, bigger areas, St. Louis,
They have other
Evansville,
options.
Indiana, and stuff. They have Uber and they have,
That's true.
Oh, it's starting to break through here. I actually, since I'm home now with the wife and everything, I'm actually getting ready to be a DoorDash driver.
Really.
Yeah.
And see, I think
It
stuff
starts
like that,
July 31st, so there's
I
going to be a
think
lot of.
stuff like
That's
that
worth it.
would definitely encourage people that do want to get out and have a good time, but also, like he said, they have to watch their own backs,
Yeah. And that's a sad thing. I mean, it's been that. I don't think it got noticed until the thing happened with Dime. When Dimebag got killed, a lot of people's eyes got opened up with a lot of things like that. And we're by no means trying to say that we're anything of that caliber. It's just that you go to a show, you actually look over your shoulder now.
Yeah.
You know, you me and my wife tend to, we both live with PTSD, so we tend to put our backs to the walls wherever we go. We don't sit in the middle of a floor somewhere.
Yeah.
We have to put our backs to the wall to watch what's going on. But you are right on that, and I think Jeff's got a good point on that as well, to the fact that it is different now than what it was when he was in his teens or whatever, 75 years ago. There he goes.
When the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Jeff is our senior citizen drinker here, so.
Yeah, he goes the hardest he gets probably.
Cheers, brother.
Hey, he still puts vodka in his prune juice.
Hey,
You guys-
whatever works for you. So what do you guys think about the venues closing around here? Do you think it's a fan base thing? Do you think it's bad marketing on the bars issue? On the bar side? Do you think it's just...
I personally, I don't think it's one specific. I think it's both. I mean, like we just talked about, there's like not a lot of people showing up to a lot of shows locally, but then also venues don't really publicize stuff very much. Like if you book a show, they may put a flyer up the week of, and most of the time it's at the bar.
Yeah.
So
You won't hardly see any social media presence. That's why I was telling Faust and Shipley about that. Any band that's going to book in this area should literally, and I feel like a broken record because I've said this so many times. I would think that any band around here that's serious about making money and making their way, breaking through the chains, so to speak, should hold a venue to. Should hold a venue at least 4 times on social media being advertised to your band. I don't care how long it takes, but at least 4 times they should be posting it. I mean, I understand putting a flyer up and they put an event up, but that's usually all you get.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the band to make sure everybody knows where that place is. You don't see bars doing little micro videos. You don't see them doing any kind of viral presence whatsoever.
Well, that's why you get so many.
And I'm not talking like the Foo Bar.
Yeah,
The Foo
well,
Bar
that's-
will put it up and blast it for 10 months.
That's why you get so many venues though, like say Pops and stuff that want you to do the pay to play. You got to sell tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands.
Which I understand. They're trying to cover what it costs to get that major
I do
act
too.
in.
But a lot of bands, I mean, either they may not have the money to put up for something like that,
They're stuck opening.
They just are tired. Like in our instance, we don't like to do those because we live so far away from there.
Yeah,
that
and it's hard to
for
market
us
it here.
to pull a fan base in there.
Yeah.
So basically, whatever they're asking, we already know most of that money. We're just going to have to eat.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. We used to use our merch money. Whatever we sold in merch, we would try to push as much merch as we could to get that money back.
Yeah.
Other than that, we would just really, really try hard not to go discount. They give you tickets and it's $7 for your cost, $13 for them to buy from the venue, 15 day of the show.
Yeah.
So most of us would be like, hey, get them us for $5. And then we undercut all the bands, and then then 3 people show up.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't care if you show up or not. We just got to sell these tickets so we can get on the card and get some exposure. But to me, I think the St. Louis area is getting tapped out. If you go to any record store in St. Louis, it's an ungodly amount of local music in that area.
Yeah.
In St. Louis versus Nashville, none of us in this area really have tapped into the Nashville scene, Nashville, Tennessee.
And we're looking we're kind of looking towards the Evansville, Indiana scene.
Right.
There's not a lot of venues over there, but there's a couple bands I've been talking
Blood
to.
Tribe's in that
Blood
area.
Tribe's one of the bands I've been talking to. Their guitar player's a killer guy.
Oh,
And I talked to them quite a few times. And
They're supposed to be here for the barbecue.
Actually, they have a lot of the same problems there as we do.
Oh, I think it's
Which-
everybody now. All the
which
local bands are getting
You
fucked.
wouldn't think as much being that big of an area.
Right.
But they, a lot of their really good clubs and venues that had the metal bands have closed.
Right.
And so they're basically trying to relive their scene down there right now and trying to build like we are here.
Right.
Kind of back to that different world thing, the way I look at things. A lot of these young people, not all of them, because there's some that know what's up, but a lot of the young people they'd rather go see karaoke, do karaoke, or have a dance thing with the pop music.
Yeah.
And I think the bar owners, a lot of them would rather do that, not deal with the band because of the hassle of it in their eyes sometimes, maybe. And they just would rather just get a DJ or a karaoke deal rather than a live band. And I've always been a go-to person. Just give me live music, even any kind, any style, because I can even go appreciate if I'm at something where if it's a country band. If they're good musicians, I don't care for country, but I can see that and I appreciate that they're doing something.
Well, I had mentioned.
At least it's live and not Memorex, man.
There you go.
I had mentioned to Shipley about some of the bands that are trying to make their way through right now, maybe getting a cover band to close for them. let the cover band be the closer. So the bands that are trying to make way right now, that are trying to get into the scene, not guys like you guys and myself that have been in this for a minute. Everybody sitting at the table has been around for a hot minute in the scene in this area. Most of you remember the SIMC, but if you get say Cause of Ruin and Sky Dweller wanted to get a cover band and get that paycheck, because cover band's going to make money.
The problem
if you have
with
them
that-
closing, then the bands can come in and it's an even split between 3 bands.
The problem with that is a lot of the cover bands, I mean, they're not going to want to split that money.
Exactly.
Because they can make that
We'll
money.
play after Abaddon.
And part of it is because they are pulling off some shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Larry White used to say something that always tickled the shit out of me, and it was, "Must be easy to play Def Leppard with 2 arms." He would say shit like that to fucking the drummer for Metal Toys, and I used to die laughing every fucking time I heard it. But now that I've gotten older and looked at this differently now, it's not easy to play someone else's music, not all the damn time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I dare anybody to go up and try to pull off a Sepultura cover.
Yeah.
That's, I'm sugar
And
cover. I mean,
they-
any of that
they-
shit is not easy to do.
Cover bands do have to put in a lot of work. They
Yeah.
got to do a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to have a wide spectrum of
Yeah.
music as well. They can't just, you can get a particular band to specialize on something, but
But they do that so that they can play that amount of time.
And
for
get that kind of
4
paycheck.
hours or whatever.
and it's not cheap
they
being a
get
cover
paid.
band if you're a legit cover band either, because you got to deal with, ASCAP and DMI and all that crap. So,
Back to the venues, though, I think
Another new thing.
sometimes metal is dead because, like, at the Firebird when Oceano played, I think they played with the Signs of the Swarm. They only brought in like maybe 10 to 12 people.
Yeah.
So I mean, how you got to bring in people?
like I said,
Local band.
there's talk there's going to be a major venue put here in Mount Vernon where the old Gincona Widery is. I don't know if that's true talk or not. I've heard a lot. Obviously, we've all seen them been doing a lot of work here. You've got Russell Brown that bought the Granada. He's trying to fucking bring in some bands around here of national acts. So there is some headway being done here. And being in Mount Vernon, we're in the 64-57 split. It crosses over right there. Every major act that goes from Nashville to St. Louis comes right through Mount Vernon 9 times out of 10.
And I don't think like a lot of these venue owners realize if they would just give these bands a place to play, that these bands would not charge
Dude,
them
the
to
Crossing
play
would
there.
make a killing right
They
now.
would not, and the bands would not ask for money to play
No.
there, just to have a chance to have a venue to play and make money on your own merchandise.
Yep.
True.
And I don't know if they just don't realize that or they
Most
can
of them have got, like a lot of these bar owners around here are up in age.
Yes,
No
that's
offense to
true.
you,
That's
Jeff.
true.
I'm 40. I'm 40. I know the guy.
75.
He's like,
Yeah, they're up in retirement age. You know what I mean? But like I've heard that the Crossing might be up for sale. I've heard that like when Walgreens switched their shifts around, it fucked over the Frosty. There's a lot of things that have gone into what's going on around here. And then like Geo's is just too goddamn tiny to play in. You couldn't even I was trying to get. Dude, I was trying to get you guys in there. I'm not even playing. I talked to the bar owner. I was like, look, I know a band right now that will fuck this place up with crowd. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, check out these guys. And I gave him my card, told him to get on the band page and check out Abaddon. And I got a phone call the next day from the bar owner. He's like, no, we can't have those guys. I was like, why not? It's like, because it would probably break all the tables in here. They've got the tables bolted to the fucking middle of the
There you
floor.
go.
The stage is, you could fit this desk on it twice. That's how big it is.
Yeah,
There'd be just enough for your drums. That'd be it. That'd be all you could do up there. The rest of you'd be right there in front of tables. That's what I'm getting at, though. Like the Spot Tavern, no stage, but they got bands in there, but they don't want to play to what music we all love.
Yeah.
It's always country, it's always acoustic, and I'm not hating on any kind of genre. I'm just saying that's what they want to pick to around here. There's nobody around here that will allow, and the Crossing used to. The Crossing used to, when I did Metal in the Mountains one there, she had nothing but rock and metal and fucking reggae, fucking DJs, fucking acoustic. She did all spectrums of music. I don't know what changed, but as soon as I went to the Granada, she changed the bar from the Crossing Depot to Larry's Irish Pub.
Yeah.
And that's when everything changed with her business ethic.
Yeah, I remember 5 or 6 years ago.
And she's got that.
Webster, we went down there. We saw Annihilate in that back room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Down there at
What
the
used to
pub.
be the depot?
Yeah.
I mean that was great, and they were the only band. They just went in there and kicked
Yep.
ass. And
I miss those motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
I do miss those guys. Actually, I just put up the episode for that today, right before you guys got here. It was a flashback episode with Tony Lamenta. I was telling you guys when you got here. Yeah, for me, I think it's an even spread. I think it's a little bit of fault on us, a little bit of fault on the bars, because, and when I say fault on us, by a little bit, I mean like not pushing these bar owners to understand what kind of thing we could pull off. I mean, for the love of God, everybody hears heavy metal music, and two things right off the bat. As soon as you talk to somebody that is not a heavy metal fan, you hear. One, oh, you must love Satan. Two, you like to beat up people. Automatically, we're thought of biker, beat up, rapists, whatever the fuck you want to think of.
I beat people up. But
Right, but I mean, if you talk to somebody that is not metal, like my buddy Tom Bruns is not a metalhead. He listens to some, but he's not a metalhead.
Right.
And if I play something,
He likes Abaddon.
yes, he does like Abaddon.
I like Abaddon.
Right? But if you play something like that for somebody, they automatically get the assumption that it's, you know, devilish or whatever the fuck you want to think
Just
of.
violent music.
Yeah, it's what they think of because they're screaming in it and everything, and they don't even understand. Like, there's so many songs out there that sound so psychotic that when you actually read the lyrics and learn them, you find out it's about suicide prevention.
Yeah.
You find out it's about, you know, anti-rape,
Or
Fucking-
anti-animal
cruelty kind of
cruelty,
thing.
like with cow decapitation.
Yeah. It's unreal what some of the messages are, but so there's that broadcast coming from a lot of these bar owners, and it's kind of on our end to explain to these guys, going, look, here's a show we did. Look at my phone. This is a show we did at XYZ, and we didn't have one fight. We didn't have one problem. I've been doing this for 3 years, whatever the case
Yeah,
may be.
I mean, Abaddon-
So I think that's our fault there.
I mean, we might go up there and, you know, kick ass and throw a few stunners out, but after that, we're like the most friendly dudes you'll ever meet. Right? Sometimes you gotta stun somebody's ass.
Well, that's what they said about the full terror assault, that they'll have us back every year because said the metalheads cleaned up their campsites, there was
Yeah.
no fights, everything was cool, but they had to get rid of a certain man that went down there before.
Yeah. Nice little makeup.
A certain man, I'm trying to be, you know.
Yeah, I don't care
Well,
on here.
I think a lot of that too is the fans appreciate it because
Yeah.
of the dying scene.
Yeah.
That when they do have the chance, that they are going to be respectful because they want it to continue.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, but what I'm getting at is like just in Mount Vernon. I don't know where. I think most of you guys are from this area. I think you're a little further out than everybody here, but just in Mount Vernon alone, you used to be able to play anything you wanted to at the Crossing.
Absolutely.
And they've got a 3,000 foot beer garden in the back that
Yeah.
has nothing on it.
Yeah, it's great.
There's so much potential for
That's
that
awesome,
lot
man.
if they took that stage and went to the opposite side, where you guys usually park
Yeah.
for Mountain Mayhem. Put that stage there and take that whole entire wall up. Build it onto the back where that back gate that's all mudded up gets added into the deck. Come all that way with the venue.
Yeah.
During the wintertime, get rid of that stupid bar in the back. Look, I'm giving them ideas already probably. Get rid of that stupid bar in the back, take it all up front, and open that whole fucking back room up as a venue.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
Just put a band back there through the winter every
Yeah.
damn night.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're playing fucking oldies or if you're jamming out Abaddon.
Well, that goes into what I was saying about them not realizing that these bands would come. They could have so much live entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they weren't getting a huge crowd every night, you know, a decent crowd 3 or 4 nights a week
Yeah.
is better than that.
No crowd.
And
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
us metalheads like to drink beer.
I was just about to say, you beat me to it. You know,
well, if they
metalheads are
took
gonna
that
drink
bar,
your beer.
if they took that bar out of the back and put it up in the front and built it onto the bar that's already existing in there before you go out to the beer garden in that area there, that right there you've got your craft beer area.
Yeah.
Get rid of that nasty ass bathroom too.
Yeah.
Anybody have any beer?
I will take one.
I'll take one.
I'll take one myself. That's definitely beer drinking man around here.
We don't ever turn down an extra beer.
No.
Right.
Never.
So where'd you guys get your individual starts within the scene? What was the first band you played with in the Southern Illinois scene?
Jeff think long ago, man. That's what
I have to think.
Jeff might be here a while. We'll end with Jeff. We'll let Jeff have time to think here.
Just in this basic area?
Yeah, when you would like say in Southern Illinois when you guys started here. I don't know where you're from. Are you from Southern Illinois?
Well, actually, I grew up around Chicago and everything, but I hit Benton in my high school years.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think what would have been the first band I was in around here. Would have been probably Chloroform with Frankie. That's in Danny Green now.
Okay.
That's one of the first
That's
original
cool.
bands
That's cool.
that I've been in around here.
The Red White Dynamite, as Webster likes to put it.
My first band was my band in high school, RTA, and played with our now manager Denny.
Oh yeah.
That band, yeah.
Nice.
And we were a band for quite a few years.
Nice. What was the name of it?
RTA, Road to Acceptance. It was a rip off of a Green Day song.
Nice.
And we played Metallica and Green Day covers pretty much.
Yeah, you guys.
Wow.
played that.
What a change.
And then we started writing original material and moved on,
Yes, we explore the idea of open beer cans here.
You guys played Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, we played Battle of the Bands a few times.
I hate Battle of the Bands. I think it's the most biggest
you're in
rip off
high
you
school,
can
though,
pull.
it's so much
Oh
fun.
yeah, when you first come into one, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, see, I
It's
thought
such
that
a
band was badass, and I watched it RTA.
Yeah.
Went at the youth club, and now he's my guitarist.
Yeah.
Badass.
Right.
Guess I have to throw a shout out to Padded Cell too. I did a lot of time with those guys. It was kind of a cover band, but we had
That was just like the most ironic way to put that.
We had a
Bad itself. Did a lot of time.
Throw Jeff in the pack.
we did have a couple originals though. We recorded down in Texas with Chuck's brother Jeff, and so we had a couple. You know.
I just gotta throw this out here. Clarence, that beer smells like cat piss.
It tastes like cat.
It smells like
He loves it.
What the fuck are you drinking? Oh, is that Lagunita or whatever?
It's like super cat.
Super close.
Like every
It gets
IPA.
drunk.
Yeah. My first band, I guess you could call it. I guess my first.
Tastes like you're drinking pine cones.
It gets you drunk.
While looking at the cat's ass, but anyways, so my first band, I'd have to say, was this little band called Insignificant, which is actually that was the name of the band, and it was a 3-piece. It was me on guitar, my buddy on the bass, and a guy on drums, and the bass player sing. He was the singer, but I mean, he was not very good. None of us were really. Like, I think we did Nirvana covers and shit like that. Right. It was super simple stuff, you know. For us, you know, we thought we were badass when we figured out Enter Sandman, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this was you know, hell, we were probably 13, 14,
Right.
you know, just actually figuring out what our guitars really did.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And still didn't have any idea.
Oh, I remember my first instrument was an acoustic my dad gave me, and I learned the opening chords to Enter Sandman on it, and I was just like, okay, that sounds great.
Like,
2 weeks
I'm
later,
I'm on my way.
2 weeks later, my dad sold the guitar. Fast forward 18 years later, I bought my first bass.
Yeah, I had a Dan Electro, like $15 like crunch pedal. You know what I mean? Like, it was made of plastic.
Oh shit.
You had to be careful how hard you stepped on it, or if
You crush it.
You'd break it, or it would just squeal all the time.
Right.
It was not the greatest tone I've ever had in my life.
I said not a snap pedal.
Right?
Warning, do not stop.
Push the button.
Okay.
It was even the button was plastic. I mean,
Oh shit.
yeah, it was real fancy.
That's fucking funny.
It didn't even have like a treble or a bass on it. It just had.
Push.
Love her.
You could just turn this little dial, and you had a tone dial, and then it had a gain dial, but it didn't have any other equalizer on it whatsoever. And it was the greatest sounding piece of shit I've ever.
He's gonna be looking for one on eBay now. Watch tonight. He'll be sitting at home half drunk, going,
I mean, to be honest, for like a $15 piece of shit, it had the nastiest little tone that would come out of that thing. And to this day, I still think back about it, and I'm like, man, I wish I still had that.
I told you, he's gonna be over there tonight. He's gonna text me like, "You asshole, I'm on eBay." Clarence, where'd you get your start?
Huh. Some kind of chaos, bro.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I started. Actually, Jeff got me into music, believe it or not.
46 years old, first band.
46. I'm not even, well, I'll be 43 this month. But actually, me and Jeff were neighbors at the time. We both worked at a certain place.
Right.
Shithole.
But, yeah,
Shall nameless.
but we were neighbors and stuff. And we had a mutual friend, and he's like, "Man, you got to meet this guy, man. He likes metal like you do." I'm like, "Cool." So he come, you know, he introduced us and shit, and then we were partying back and forth at each other's place, and I heard him playing and shit. I'm like, "Dude, why ain't you fucking playing for a band, bro?"
And I said, "You don't understand. There's more to it."
I do not. But yeah, he would come down and we just kick some shit on the computer, you know, and crank it down in my basement and stuff. And
I heard him singing Fear Factory. That's what did it.
Oh, really?
And it's like, "Do you ever consider singing for a band, man?" I'm like, "Not really." It never crossed my mind, but it happened.
Anytime you hear a guy with a low speaking voice like that, you're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, have you ever thought about singing metal?"
I've had my offers out there because I have a deep voice as well, but I've smoked for 26 years. I try to scream and I'll puke my lungs up. But yeah, I didn't know you got your start with SKK.
Yeah.
How long after you guys started that we all started running around together? Because the Fab Four that I call in Southern Illinois in our run was Wasco Low Life, Sacrifice the God, Spirit of Chaos, and SKK.
Shit, we started playing, 2004, I think it was. When we
So
started.
too far before us. We started in 2008. What core? 2011, I think, was when SOC fired up.
We were playing a lot down in
Well,
Stillwater.
how it happened, if I remember correctly, was you said, "Well, I know this drummer," and then you said Blue,
Yeah,
his nickname, Steve-O, and you took me to that party in Hoyleton, and we met him, and then we started talking about getting together, and then Brandon was a wild card we hadn't met yet, and then we met him, and then we started the band.
Yeah, I was married at the time, and Steve.
I never knew you were even fucking married. I knew you had kids.
But Steve-O used to hang around with fucking my ex-brother-in-law, man, and they'd always come over and I'd buy them beer and shit because they wasn't of age, you know. I didn't say that. Yeah.
Right.
Nah, probably don't matter. He's older than that now, so it don't matter. But yeah, I knew him, and he said, I knew he was a drummer and shit, but I never heard him and stuff. But I hooked Jeff up with him,
Right.
And that's how shit started.
Right on. Where'd you get your start at?
I've had this band in high school that we've made a few songs, but it didn't really go anywhere. But this is pretty much my first band.
Really?
It's really serious. It's played out.
Yeah, he skipped a bunch of steps this one. He skipped a bunch of steps.
Right.
How's nobody ever picked this cat up? I don't know.
But
Mountain Mayhem was the first time I
that
got to
being
see you
said, his
guys.
drumming skills, that's...
Oh, that's what I was getting at. The Mountain Mayhem was the first time I got to see you guys play a show where there wasn't any interruptions or any electronics that decided to shit the bed on you during the middle of a show. Because that Faust show, it was a badass show for everybody. And then you guys had electronic issues. I don't think anybody else had any issues, did you?
Because we
We blew it up.
Yeah, it's because you guys fucking kill shit.
I had no bass mic that whole show, man. I was
No
fucking-
shit.
It sucked, yeah.
Oh. I know that show last night in Benton was loud as fuck. I felt like I was at a punk show, dude. My ears were ringing like hell during the show.
But that adds to it. I mean,
Oh, no, I
adds
love
to
it.
the
I miss it.
experience.
You know you're at a good show when all the musicians, you see orange in their ear.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be a good one. Everybody.
Jeff and I were
Yeah, I am too. My left ear's fucked. Derek Anthus killed my left ear.
A venue with a good sound system makes a show, you know what I mean?
Webster just killed his kneecaps.
That was my shin.
Was it shit?
Like the sound Clarence got at the Mountain Mayhem. I mean, that's just like night and day. That was incredible sound.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sound system was fucking stupid.
And that was like, what, a few weeks after the show you were
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
And you can just see the difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you're indoor versus outdoor. Outdoor, you're going to need a bigger fucking setup. Indoor, you don't need that big of a setup, but you need something that's going to, not kill the breaker.
Sufficient, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to kill the breaker. It's not going to blow fuses. What was the issue? Did we ever find out what happened? What fried
Clarence.
I know what happened.
Clarence
I
killed
know what
it?
happened.
I think our
No,
drummers-
Low tones.
no, the RC told me that they have like a different speaker or something in one of the PAs or something. They
Yeah.
couldn't handle it. They tripped the fucking switch in the amp or something.
No, my triggers were ran off the
Something
vocals, and it was too much. And I think through the amp in protect mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it went overboard.
So the
Fried
fucking
it or
speaker.
something.
It didn't blow. It just shut it down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I seen me and Shipley were sitting right next to each other, and I was recording you guys during that set, and I tapped Shipley. I'm like, dude, something's fucking cooking. And he's like, what the fuck? And I got down. It's just loud as shit. You guys are like 10 feet from me. I got fucking Clarence's big ass screaming in my goddamn ear from behind me because everything's trying to fucking fry out on me. And I tap. I'm like, dude, fucking go check that shit. It's fucking cooking over there. And we can smell wires burning on the pool table. I'm like, man, that pool table catches. All that foam's gonna go up.
That would have been an awesome video.
That would have been some fucked up shit right there. But he goes over there and looks at it, and no more than he like does this and touches the top of it. Poof, there goes the vocals, there goes your drums. I was like, it's your fault! I didn't touch it.
That's the part of the podcast we don't want the venues to hear.
Dude,
Right.
these guys are so badass. They
Wasn't our fault.
Hey, all this has had it happen. I've blown more speakers than probably anybody in my band. And literally, like, every show for the first year we played, we blew a speaker at fucking Middle of the Mountains 1. We blew a speaker at Fubar. We blew a speaker at Pops. I blew a 15 at Pops. So they plugged my XLR into my combo amp, that Ampeg BA 115 I got. They plugged that XLR into that motherfucker, and it poof. The one right above my head on the main stage. I was like, holy shit, what the hell? All I did was hit the E.
Well, Pops, I guess you're buying a new system.
They're like,
tomorrow.
what do you got? Literally, the dude comes up to me and goes, what do you got running through that fucking thing? I said, dude, it's just a combo amp, solid state, nothing. It's a fucking $400 amp. What the fuck are you talking about? He
that's
goes,
the
that
shit.
thing's running hot as fuck. I said, I don't know what the hell you're talking
Public
about.
service announcement: Abaddon is not a fire hazard.
No, definitely not.
You guys should make shirts that have a fire extinguisher on it.
Well, we ain't set shit on fire yet. But
Yeah, fire hazard said we're cool.
Matt just turned into Gene Simmons here at this interview. Hey, I just want to make sure you know.
Right? We do not have pyro at our fucking
I had to run a
shows.
business here, guys.
And that's something that I'm glad to hear out of a band in this area, because there are so many bands in this area. If they would learn some business ethic, they would go way further than what they've gone. Like bands like you guys, Fun Gone Wrong is another example. Those guys are like Sacrifice the Gods were the best fucking band that I ever seen as far as band ethic, work
Leon,
ethic,
man. Shout out
marketing.
Leon.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
Leon's actually trying to get me in on a song right now, and we've been talking a little bit. But
Leon and I are supposed to collaborate some art.
oh, really?
But that's not happened yet.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, we decided we were going to do it. It's been about,
Leon, I hope you listen to us, brother, because we fucking miss you.
He's
dog.
working. He's working his butt off for his school right now. He got him a good job working for his school.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. He's
But they were like
He's
so many
awesome.
bands around
Fucking
here.
cracks me the fuck
Oh,
up.
I know, and you got to catch it too, because he'll say it so nonchalantly and clean, and you're like, "What the fuck? You goofy motherfucker! What are you talking about over here?" You know, you literally have to. He'll make you think for about 5 minutes before you're like, "I'm slow as fuck," but
Me, Leon, and Nick, we're the three amigos. Lamont Blonde Brothers. Yeah.
But if bands around here would pick up the work ethic, not just the work ethic, but the marketing behind it, the figuring out how to. It is a business. It's a job. It's a fun job, but it's still a fucking job.
Yeah, I'm really proud of where we're sitting with that right now.
Yeah.
We
Big time.
we've got our new management through Denny and
Gutter merch.
yeah, we're exclusively through Gutter Merch, all of our merchandise and everything. And I mean, he's done tons of huge. I mean, he's worked with Green Day and
Yeah.
Harley Davidson, Fireball Whiskey. Like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we're really trying to take a hold of the business and marketing side of things.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
He's a fucking
I really
badass
wish my
dude.
dad was still around to see it, because I would love to talk to him about what Denny's doing for us, because he was a business insurance guy, and I think he
Right.
could probably get what's going
He
on.
would.
Right. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Denny. I never knew him. I never got to meet him
Good
until
dude,
the
man.
Mountain Mayhem show, and I just looking up most of his stuff online right now. He's definitely got the
Oh, yeah,
bull by
it's-
the horns.
It's easy to see that he's legit.
Yeah.
He knows what the
Yeah.
fuck he's doing. And it's great. Like anything I contact him, holler to him about, he's just like, I got this, dude. Bam. That day, he's got it.
Oh yeah.
Send him some chug videos from Claw over here.
Yeah.
Fucking call.
the best
I just want
part-
to know how you got that nickname.
I don't know.
The best part is, it's because when you sing, you fucking hold your hand.
Oh,
Okay, well, at least I understand.
shit. I didn't even understand it.
Yeah, you're all like, "Bruh," you got your hand out like a fucking.
What, you're Dr. Claw now? Is that what we're going with here?
That's
Sometimes they call that holding the orange or grapefruit.
Denny named him the Claw.
He did.
That's funny.
I was a fucking no, I ain't never seen this yet.
He knows.
That's because when you were taking the pictures, you were all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Well,
I get it.
yeah, I mean, and the best part about Denny too is like if you have an idea, you can bring it to him. He's not like Hitler and says no. It's
I know
gotta be
there's
my
so
way.
many
It's-
managers I've
you
heard
can-
about like being like that.
Yeah, you can
He's
bring him an idea, like, hey man, this is kind of like Jeff the other day was talking about an idea to him. And he's like, that's a great fucking idea.
I think what makes him a great manager though is the fact that he's a musician as well.
And he's
You see what I'm saying? Because there's so many managers out there that can't play a lick of
And if
fucking
you're
music,
not-
and they want to tell you how to do your damn
But if your
job.
idea's stupid, he'll fucking be like, no, man.
He'll tell you.
Like that's a bad idea. It's gonna make you look bad.
Right,
If you
right.
post something on your own Facebook and it's out of line, he's gonna be like, hey man, what are you doing? You're
Yeah,
making
it's
the
all
band
related.
look bad because you're still attached to the band.
And see, I had a lot of, and it's not to drag down anybody in my old band with SOC, but there were so many fucking issues with that. And we've all watched it happen, even in our own bands with separate projects outside of what you're in now. There's always that one person that could fuck it all up for everybody if you don't watch them. And like in our instance here, we had issues with motherfuckers that didn't want to quit fucking putting stupid shit up on Facebook. Well, this is my last show, I'm quitting, blah, 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 blah.
You gotta get Baldy in there. Get in there, Baldy.
Photo time.
All of a sudden, we went into a photo shoot.
Yep.
Anything happens here.
No holds barred.
I kind of try to run my whole
More
Facebook
sexual
type thing that way.
This is the Kama Sutra of
Me and,
podcast.
me and, me and Matt agree on that, just in general, just where I just pretty much post what I'm listening to on the way to work and stuff, keep it light. I mean, I have my religious views, my political views, but I try to keep it off there because that affects...
I don't even see you post anything. You're so good about it. He's the
Just
the Facebook socials. What is it? It's Facebook senior citizen ninja over here.
It's just like
Shit, motherfucker can't work a phone.
every day.
Well, these days people get so...
Every
You know you
day.
gotta hit A a few times to get the signal.
You know, hey, listen, guys, it's still fucking with dial-up, but the point is, the point is like, you know, every day you see Jeff, he'd be like, for the ride in, and it's always some kick-ass fucking song.
Right.
So he's
I
never
keep
really
it light
pushing
because these days, you know, people get so offended by so much
Oh
shit.
my god, it's so stupid, man.
And like Jenny was saying, and we agree that it's going to reflect on the band, and
Absolutely.
it
True.
might turn people
It
away.
may not even be anything that any of you, including him, would go, what the fuck, where are we being bitched at about this?
Yeah.
Anything today could be fucking found offensive.
Right. It's retarded.
You know, and that's the reason why I always put out that little bullshit on my podcast. It's like, fuck you. If it's offensive, shut it the fuck off and go
There
on
you
somewhere
go.
else. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck if
go
I'm not
forget
here or
that simple.
not.
Yeah, people are way too uptight these days.
Oh, they are.
So bad.
And it's literally they're calling they're calling it literally a resurgence of like the 1920s. They really are. The people in the 1920s didn't talk about sex. They didn't talk about this. They didn't talk about that. And it's the way it is now. It's really becoming a new resurgence of the 20s.
They don't realize it, but it is.
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, if you think about it, the look at the style right now. That right there will tell you it's 1981 all over again. You've got sunglasses that are all fucking 4 different goddamn neon colors, tight jeans. I just seen the fucking hip hugger
Not
jeans
for
that
this
just
guy.
came out.
Not for this guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Look at anybody that's 19, anybody between
Right,
the ages of
right.
14 and 19 right now. I've got a daughter that's 18.
Everything's been
You've
done
got
before.
kids the same age as mine,
Yeah,
Webb.
well,
and they wear shit that looks that. It reminds me of watching MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, and when your
truly does.
political leaders have to go more or less on what they truly believe than what they think people will be offended by, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a real problem.
Well, it's like that thing that happened to Roseanne Barr. She put up what she thought was funny, and everybody found it racist, and they yanked her ass from the show and killed her ass off in her own character.
Yeah.
Something as tiny as that. Like, just recently, Kevin Spacey was just literally cleared of all the bullshit that happened to him.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get his fucking TV show back, though.
Yeah.
They fired his ass without even knowing he was guilty.
Yeah.
It's stupid shit like that. Everybody's pulling the trigger before they even have it aimed.
Yeah.
It's ignorant now. So I get what he's saying about watch what you guys do online and shit like that.
It's
Because
too
it's,
sensitive these days.
yeah, it's
Most
way
of
too
They
sensitive.
can't fucking take a joke.
That's why I love doing what I do, because I can tell everybody that's watching right now, go fuck yourself, you don't like what you're listening to, and I get away with that.
People
you know?
turn their Facebook like it's a diary too.
Oh, I know.
They put every fucking thing they can think of and
Yeah,
just
it's-
post it up.
It's hard not to, though.
Well,
It is.
yeah.
For some people, it's hard not to. Literally.
What I love is when people get on their Facebooks and they add something, you know, knowing people are going to react.
Yes, they do it on purpose.
Knowing people are going to
Now,
respond.
what do you mean by what they're putting? What do you mean
recently.
what's their content
But
they're
I'll
putting?
shut
Where
up.
are you aiming?
Like I'm saying, any content whatsoever.
Right.
And then they get butthurt when someone comments about the thing. It's like you literally opened the world up.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
say,
'cause-
hey.
Well, not only that, on Facebook you can literally put on you could post whatever the fuck you want on
Pity party,
Facebook.
man.
It's game on.
It is a pity party
pity
because
party.
you're wanting a comment.
Yeah,
If you
for
didn't
sure.
want to comment, you can go into the fucking options of that damn post
Keep
and
it
stop
private.
comments from being
Right,
posted.
exactly.
So it could be just a
I
single
mean,
post.
everybody goes through some shit and posts some
Oh, yeah.
shit every once in a while
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're pissed off, you know. Or
That's
whatever.
understandable.
That's
But every
fine.
fucking day, man, come on. It's
Don't-
attention pity party shit.
Don't post shit and then say, oh, you know, I don't know why you're on my thing commenting, blah 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 blah. Oh, you mean like on a local social media platform?
Right.
It's like it showed up on my news feed. I can do what the fuck I want.
Right. So it's like if I want to post a big old floppy dick on your face, you don't have it as public.
Right there.
You got it as public and not as and not you don't have it private. I'm sorry, buddy. You opened that world up for
Yeah.
yourself. The
You
internet,
would post a dick.
just yours.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, that ain't gonna be a floppy one, then, will it?
No, your post
Like Mighty Mouse on Mighty Mouse.
It just posts out naturally.
It's cold in here.
It's all about attention.
It is,
All right.
man. It is. It's all about attention shit.
Well, this is Shooting the Shit with Baldy, and we'll be right back.
My my plan to conquer Nick Jr. didn't work out, so I'm gonna stay up all night and color my deck with markers.
Shooting the shit with Baldy, where we make it our goal to piss off your neighbors.
August 3rd, Abaddon crashes Driftloud Audio to record their next single. Prepare to be crushed, pummeled, and laid to waste. Coming up!
right, we're back, and we've got Denny Blackwell on the phone.
Well, hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
What's up?
Oh gosh, oh man, I'm glad that I'm a phone call. I'm glad I'm on the other side of the phone instead of like in the studio with you guys, because there'd be some bad stuff happening.
You know, brother.
Oh gosh, so first
Gotcha,
off,
brother.
thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, man.
Sure.
We were getting on the topic of how you're managing Abaddon now, and the reasons that you chose to manage Abaddon.
Okay, sure. I'll do a little bit of background just about myself, and then I'll try to come full circle. I'll do my best. I kind of chase my tail in conversations, so you guys can just hang up on me if it gets just a little redundant. So currently I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I used to work for Victory Records up in Chicago, Illinois. I've been living in St. Louis for about 12 years, and I've just stayed connected in the music industry. I did a lot of work for a lot of indie and major labels, anywhere from like Sony, Universal, Sumerian, Fearless, Hopeless, Century Media. So just kind of got my hands into like a lot of label work. I've been fortunate enough to work with bands like Green Day, Lil Wayne, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Skynyrd, and then just Aerosmith, like just tons of bands. So I mean, like I'm a graphic designer, and I'm a photographer, so that's kind of my background. With all of that, I've just stayed in touch with like a lot of friends and contacts in the music industry, and I've had a lot of awesome opportunities to do work for a lot of big bands, mid-tier bands, and like some a lot of great local artists as well. So basically what I provide, I want to give bands exactly what I wish I had growing up playing in bands. And it's just like bands, they need marketing collateral, they need social media content, they need good photography, they need videos, they need web stores, they need sources of income, and I want to provide that for bands, with that, I've known Matt Jones for, oh my gosh, since we were crapping in diapers together. We've known each other that long. But I was always drawn to, and Matt and I, we played in various bands together growing up in high school, and him and I, we kind of reconnected via Facebook, and I noticed he was in a project, and I was like, hey man, come over to St. Louis, let's chat. I'll do some photos for you guys, and one thing led to another, and being a manager of a band, it's kind of a two-way street, because you can provide these services for any band or artist, but it's like, how much enjoyment can you get out of it with working with, different, artists or bands. But it's like the fact that, I just felt like a really awesome connection with all the guys in Abaddon. I honestly haven't met in a long time, as far as like a local band goes, like a group of really dedicated and just wholesome people inside and out. And that's what really drawn me to, kind of wanting to work with these guys. And I don't work with anybody and everybody. I'm very exclusive, and I'm like, well, I see a lot of promise with that, because these guys have a firm foundation as individuals and as artists and what they do. So I see a lot of promise in that, and we met a few times over in St. Louis, down in my office downtown, and we did some photo shoots, and we did more talk and all this, and everything kind of navigated towards, hey, look, I'd like to manage your project, because I think we can work something to get to the next level. And that's kind of where I came into play with these guys, and I love working with them. I mean, we're all clowns, but at the end of the day, we know when to get down to business, and we know why I love working with these guys is like, aside from the fact that like we're all pretty good buddies now since we've really got to know each other, but it's like, you know, you work with someone and it's like, I ask these guys to jump and they don't ask why, they ask how high, and I'm like, bingo, that's the people I want to frickin' work with, because like you guys get it and you're hungry for it. I've worked with a lot of bands that aren't hungry for it, and they play their tiny violins and they expect either handouts or just that golden road to, you know, labels or other management opportunities, and I'm just like, it doesn't work that way. It never has and it never will. So I'm kind of blowing and going, but I'm hoping that I'm kind of painting a clear picture on like where I'm at as designer, photographer, manager, and then you know, where Abaddon comes into play. So
yeah, and hit them up about the gutter merch.
Oh, sure. So two parts of this. I started Gutter Merch Management as just basically just like an apparel, you know, merchandising solutions for bands, because like a lot of bands and artists, like they make a lot of their money off, merch, because like you're hardly able to get into like ABC venue, and then you're like, okay, well, it's like, you know, you're not going to be able to get like a great guarantee unless, you know, you've been grinding it for like a decade. But it's like, you know, bands can make a decent amount of money with merch and apparel and all that fun stuff. So, you know, with being a designer and being able to work with like a lot of big bands and, you know, doing exclusive stuff for Hot Topic and Target and Walmart and everything like that for like some big bands and artists, you know, I'm like, holy crap, like I want to provide those solutions and problem solve these roadblocks for bands that just don't know enough about it. And that's kind of why I started it. And, you know, I work with my buddy Joe. He's a screen printer. So like him and I, we know how to make everything translate together and just communicate together. So, you know, Abaddon, they've been, our first, official gutter merch band, and we started, probably a month or two ago. I kind of pulled the trigger on things, but everything is official. We're doing like some big marketing rollouts here in the next couple months into the fall. And with that, I recently became an A&R label rep for Seek and Strike. They're a label homed out of Los Angeles, California. And I work really closely with those guys, and my job is to, scout bands, and I encourage bands to send me their material, and so it's just Denny at seekandstrike.com. So there's no. Can we curse on this podcast?
Yeah, oh, get it, bro.
Oh yeah. Say whatever the fuck you want, bro.
Yep.
Great. So basically, there's no fluff, no bullshit, and I just
And that's something around here that's missing.
Yeah, and dude, I agree with you 100%. Like, it's weird. Like growing up, like I'm like, man, I just want my stuff to be heard. I want answers from a label instead of like sending it into a black hole. Like that's what I want to provide to bands. And whether that's me working with Seek and Strike, A&Ring for them, or various other labels. It's just like, if you want to see bands that you work with, get to the next level and exceed, and like we want to, you want to see that because your name's on it. So, but with that, it's like, again, I come back full circle to like, it's a two-way street. Like I'm willing to put in the work for a band that, it's like I see promise in, but it's like, you got 4 or 5 guys on the other side of the table working with one manager, quote unquote. So it's like I expect that 110% from everybody involved, and then if we can keep doing that, then I think that I think you can see some really nice positive results. So so between gutter merch, we work with anybody and any bands or any labels or hell, anybody that needs like merch or apparel solutions, like we can do that. We can drop ship on tour, we can ship overseas. I mean, like it doesn't matter. We can do this in our sleep. As far as Seek and Strike, They are currently looking for additional artists for more consulting basis. So I've spoke with some bands in the area about, potential consulting ideas and stuff like that. And, it's a slow burn. I mean, you got to try to find the right fit, the right band that's willing to want to put in, X to receive X. So it's like, it is what it is. And one thing you got to stay on top of, the music industry is forever changing.
Oh, yeah.
And just trying to keep your, keep your eyes peeled, ears to the ground, and just always just like, kind of have your finger on the pulse of like what's working and what's not. So that is my job, and that's what I do. And I'm very fortunate to be working with a group of guys that I like on a personal level, and I see a lot of promise on a professional level.
Right. I know for a fact that in this area here, your name is in every ear of every band that's in this area right now. So we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was like, yeah, this asshole Denny, man.
Hey, I tell everybody you're a dick, man.
Fucking Denny Blackwell.
See, clearly you can see firsthand that my band really likes me and likes working with me.
That makes a good mix, though.
Yeah. So I mean, like, with all of that, like, it's flattering to know that, and like, I'm not doing this to get rich. It's just like I'm doing this because it's like it's my passion. And buddy, like, I love designing, I love doing photography, and I love problem solving. And I'm like, and I've been involved in the music industry for nearly 12 years. So I'm just like, I'm a associate creative director, 9 to 5, but it's just like you apply these skills and like marketing and working with content teams and everything like that. And you can roll that all in and be like, okay, well, I can make this. It's a formula that you can just like make and apply it to a band or a person that sells wagons or a person that sells, sewing needle or whatever. It's like, if you, whatever you provide as far as like a marketing service and everything, like, and especially, the music industry is my passion. Like, we can put that all together, roll it all into one big fun ball and just have a good time,
That's what it's about, having fun.
Oh,
yeah. There's a lot of bands in this area that forgot about that part, about having fun within it.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, so I grew up in Southern Illinois, and I look back, and I was just talking to my wife about this. We were having lunch with the kids upstairs, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going to get on this call, but I'm like, I just wish I knew then what I know now, as far as like, being able to work at these labels and work with these bands, and it's like a lot of the smoke and mirrors are gone, and you're just like, oh, well. I mean, if any band's going to work with anybody, I mean, like, why not it be someone that's been on the other side of the fence that kind of knows, what's going on. I mean, because like growing up, I would send my material to so many different labels, and you get all these. You never know. I mean, it's laughable now because I'm like, holy crap! Like I know how to navigate through certain things that I wish I knew back in the day, and like, and I want to provide those services and or just solutions for bands and artists, and I keep coming back to that, but it's like there's so much talent in that area that it's just like you die on the vine, because like you can only go so far by yourselves, and you kind of hit the ceiling, and then you get burnt out, you get frustrated, then you're like, all right, where are we going? And everyone's growing up, everyone's having families and everything, but it's just like, I've seen so many bands just die on the vine like that, and they're really good, and it's sad to see, and it's just like, well, shit, man, like, you don't have to move to California to make it. You don't have to move to New York to make it. You don't have to move to Florida to make it. It's just like, keep doing what you're doing. And it's just like, seek some professional advice or input or something like that. And at the end of the day, especially with the music industry, it's like, you can only go so far and knock on so many doors before you're just like, fuck, I kind of need some help. And I've lived both sides, and I'm just like, like I said, I'm not trying to get rich off this. It's just like this is how I put bread on the table, and this is what I want to provide for, people that are into music. So I'm kind of talking to myself in a circle, so I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
It's cool that you hit a lot of that stuff, man, because we talked a lot about how like crucial it is to actually keep a good business mind.
Yeah.
Alongside of what your band is trying to accomplish.
Yeah, because there's...
and let me hit on that real quick. It's super. It's hard. It's all about checks and balances, because like you want, trying to explain something to a band that's been doing ABC things for years. It's like, all right, guys, we're going to try some new things, and it's like it could be a little intimidating or cumbersome for a band for to adapt to change and whatnot. So it's like I try to make it super easy. Like I try to be a personable person. I just try to be. I'm always 100% transparent and honest in the way I communicate. So it's just like, if you can do that, then everything else will just fall into place. And I personally feel like that if you're just a good, honest person and you can do your craft well, like you're going to be able to weed out the people that you even want to work with. It's just like, okay, well, we just kind of line up. It kind of reminds me of the old the test that we took in the school, that like you fill out this questionnaire, then it'll tell you like what you're going to be good at or what you want to do for a living.
Yeah, the placement test.
30 years down the road.
Yeah.
So I did that test, and I was devastated by the results, because I got my results back, and they said, you should be an art teacher or you should be a rodeo clown. And I said, fuck both of those.
I thought maybe it was said you was going to get in porn or something.
I mean,
I
gay
didn't
porn.
even hear that. That might be a good thing.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So, how do I follow up that? How do I follow up the gay porn thing?
All right, go ahead.
No, I didn't hear clause, but it might be a good thing.
He said he thought maybe it said a porn star.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not equipped for that.
and then Webster said gay porn.
And it brings me back to being transparent and honest. I'll let you guys know right now, I'm not equipped to be a porn star. So, but yeah, it just, it's weird. I mean, like you see a lot of bands that are, they're grinding and hustling and everything, and it's just like, if you want to take your band to the next level, it just takes a lot of work, a lot of grit. It takes money. I mean, like you got to pay for services and video, and a lot of people think that it should be cheap or free or whatever. It's just like, I've heard a lot of bands go, yeah, man, well, we don't make that money. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's probably the reason why you're kind of stagnant and you're looking for answers. It's like you got to put in the effort, and it takes money. And if you're going to be paying a professional to do, X, Y, Z, it's just like, I'm a firm believer. It's like, you get what you freaking pay for too, pal. It's like, if you can have Joe Blow do it down the street for, $500 cheaper, go for it. But it'll show. I mean, that's just the way that I've lived, how I've been raised. It's just like, you work hard till you make it, and then keep working, because it never stops, it never ends, and you keep learning, and I'll never stop learning. And so, as an individual, and I don't mean to get so emotional with coming with all this bullshit, but it's just like, find something that you love and let it kill you, because like that's the only way to live life. And and that's what I do, and I'm going to do anything in my power for these guys on the other end of the phone. They are my band now, and it's a we. We're in the trenches together. We've got a huge badass marketing campaign that I've put together that we're going to be releasing for the fall. I'm utterly excited to work with the type of guys, but also like the type of music and just the talent there. So I think we're doing a lot of restructuring and that's going to be showing in a lot of our social media channels on our web store that I put together. But it's like these guys are going to be bringing some noise. I'm super excited. We'll get these clowns over to St. Louis, and you know, we've got a lot of things in the works, a lot of things that we can't talk about. And I told the guys specifically that I'm like, if you bring up XYZ, I will physically kill you, because don't do that.
Yeah, they warned me. They warned me. I've been told.
I'm like, guys, please, you know, just, you can drink all the beer you want, but just, you know, we got to hold some cards close to our chest, because, you know, that's what a marketing campaign rollout is about.
That's how business works.
So, but yeah, I think that's all I've got. Hopefully I didn't waste like all your time or anything like
not
that.
At all.
Just answer me this: does Claw still have all of his clothes on?
So far.
For now,
Okay, good.
I'm gonna put my dick on the table later.
I'm gonna need a microscope for my camera.
Jones, do you got anything else you want me to cover up on, brother?
Before you go, is there anything else that you want to plug or anything?
Dude,
I think we got the Gutter merch. We got the Seek and Strike. We got
AbaddonMusic.com, www.abaddonmusic.com.
Yeah, man. Just, you know, all your social medias. You know, the fact that we're going to be getting you guys over in St. Louis very soon. We've got, you know, a new photo shoot coming up. We've got you know, some shows that I'm working on for you cats. So yeah, I think more or less just stay tuned. We've got a lot of work to do, but we've also got a lot of things in the hopper, a lot of exciting things, and yeah, you know, we're doing next level shit. So that's what we do.
Right
all
on,
right, man. Appreciate you calling, dude.
Yeah,
I will say that
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, not a problem, man. I appreciate you calling in and fucking talking with us and everything, because I definitely would like to pick your brain on a podcast episode yourself if you would ever make the trip.
Yeah, man, just holler at me. And I'm originally from McLeansboro, so I mean, like, my parents still live over there, so if it works out, I'm happy to fly home, or drive home rather, and just chill out and then bounce up to wherever you guys are at, and we can just party and have a podcast.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Well, keep Claw in line for me, and tell Ross to play Wipeout.
All right, man.
You, bro.
Hey, dude. Thank you. Fuck you, and have a good day.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I'm going to sign off. Jones, hit me up later, and we'll recap. Okay.
All right, man.
Hey, we'll eat a dick and ride 4.
All right. See you, Jones.
Later, brother.
Peace.
I'll kick you in the balls!
Bitch! I love you!
Shooting the shit with Baldy. Bringing couples together since 2011.
We're back with Abaddon, and we just got off the phone with Denny. We just had a little smoke break while you guys listen to some music. And now we're going to get into the formation of Abaddon. Who wants to start that?
I'll take it from there.
All right, Clarence.
All right, well, this is how this shit happened.
There was a horse farm. This is a
horse
fucking farm. I got that wrong. It was my own voice, and I got it wrong.
This is Clarence's famous story. Listen close.
Yeah. It's story time, fellas.
Right now.
All right, Grandpa Clarence.
You'll learn today. But anyways, Jeff and I fucking worked an undisclosed location for years and years.
Fucking CIA.
I know. Cocksuckers. And then, we were in SKK and the shit disbanded or whatever. And Jeff found Ross that he said he was a drummer and shit. So we fucking tried him out and stuff. We had Dave Perry coming and play guitar. But then once we heard Ross play drums, I'm like, nah, man, this ain't gonna fly, bro. We need some killer guitar players. And I knew these guys from this day forward.
Yeah.
And I got a hold of Matt. He didn't get back to me right away, but I ran into Webster at the crossing, Larry's Irish Pub. I'm like, bro, I need some killer fucking guitar players, man. I got some badass fucking drummer. We need some fucking good guitar players. He's like, I got you, bro.
Yeah, that's a Webster classic there.
Yeah.
He does the Wayne's World air guitar. I got you, bro.
And then he got a hold of Matt, man, and that's how it happened.
Nice.
No shit.
Just that quick, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it went that way, but it didn't.
What happened was.
So what happened?
Let's go behind the scenes.
He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I've been sending this dude named Matt Jones messages or whatever. I was like, yeah, dude, I've been friends with Matt for
a lifetime.
13, 14 years, something like that. And I was like, I mean, I know the guy. I was like, I've been in several bands with him, and he's like, oh man, do you think you could ask him for us? I was like, yeah, man, I'll shoot him a message. I was like, see what goes on. And so I sent Matt a message, and he's like, yeah, man, these dudes are talking about practicing like super far away, and I'm just not really into it, you know. He's like, I don't know how it's gonna work out or whatever. And I was like, well, man, I was like, I'm down to play with you if you want to jam it, and and Matt was like, you know what, yeah, man, fuck it, like go ahead and tell him that we'll try it. So we agreed to try it, and our first band practice ever was actually in shit-ass Irvington.
Oh, yeah.
Frogs practice.
Over there by Dick's.
Irvington, and actually the little setup was pretty nice. I mean, it was a pretty cool little place, and so we all get there, and if you look on our Abaddon Facebook page, you can see the very first photos that were ever actually taken as Abaddon before we were actually Abaddon.
Yeah.
We didn't have a decision of a name or even songs or anything like that.
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
And it was literally within the first 30 minutes of practice. I think we went through 2 songs together, and the police showed up.
Hey, wait. The supposed police. I think that was a angry neighbor posing as the police.
He had a spotlight on his corridor.
He was an off-duty cop.
He was off duty, yet he refused to show any identification.
What was funny was he tried to stay cool. He's like, I get it, guys. I'm into music.
They always do that.
Yep, yes they do.
Total horse shit. But besides that, we were so worried about that. Oh wait, no, we weren't. So the point is the great town of Irvington thought Abaddon, which wasn't Abaddon yet, was a little too much for them. So that was our first official practice. It lasted about, I'd say, legitimately 15 minutes.
Probably.
And from that point, we just ended up getting hammered, and then we all agreed that we would play in McLeansboro. Yeah. And then from there, we had our first official practice, and then came up with a name. I think we had Pushed Aside was one of the. Moving Forward was the first song we ever learned, but Pushed Aside came along after that, and then a couple others. But yeah, it was definitely a little more complex than just meeting up in the bar and saying but no, yeah, legit, and then for about 2 years now we've been a new band, and we're blowing up the scene. So,
Plug it, Webster. Plug it.
but yeah, no.
Next level
that's
shit.
how I win all the time. Stone Cold Center type shit. You know?
And since these guys are 7-string players, I had to learn a new animal. And they said I could just transpose it on my 4-string. I was like, no,
I was getting ready to ask, are you jamming a 4-string with them playing 7?
I was going to, but then I was like, wait a minute, I got to get the right tool for the right job. So I bought my 5-string Yamaha and learned A is E, E is A now.
Yeah. Basically. I was getting ready to ask.
I remember early on, Bass talking about the fact he's like, man, I don't know if I can do this. And because it was something more than what he thought he was ready for, but it turned out pretty good, man. Like I mean, he fucking handled it. He's got it now.
Well, I'm here to tell you, you and Webster and Matt showed up over here. We were jamming around, just toying around before we did the podcast here down in the basement, or the dungeon, as most of you have got to know it. And they were fucking jamming, and we had Yardley, fucking Kevin Yardley on drums, and Kevin was like literally looking at you guys like, I don't know how to chase this. I'm sitting there with I turned my bass off. I fucking killed it, and I'm just like staring, like, oh my god, what the fuck did I ask for here? I just wanted to jam.
I got the right motherfuckers behind me, man. I'm serious. Well, as a front man, that's what you want there. I got the dudes right here. Man.
There's no 7-string in this area. There's no one jamming 7-strings that I can think of right here in this area in Southern Illinois.
And not like the Hero.
They did. Yeah.
They did it for the last album.
It
was a very fine album.
We miss those guys big time.
Yes, we do. Big time.
Big time. There needs to be a reunion. There needs to be a show, Mr. Lamenta.
That's back, Tony.
This for a show.
Tony
this for a
Thomas
show.
All
right. Yeah. So, what are you guys' main influences?
Who wants to go first?
You can pick a couple. You can go all day.
Ross, why don't you go? You haven't said a whole lot.
Yeah, talk.
Right, As I Lay Dying.
Nice.
Growing up, I listened to like Chimera, Lamb of God. And
What do you think about Adler's exit?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like
It's crazy. I'm hearing all kinds of weird shit.
Lamb of God's not gonna be the same.
But
Art Cruz is a badass.
True.
So,
I'm just going to throw it in there. I hope he stays with the prong, too, because I love prong.
Yeah.
But anyway.
it got heavier throughout the years. Like
Right.
Black Dahlia Murder. I went, the Acacia Strain, Oceano. Spite. Murder, all them heavy ass bands.
Jeff, how about
Oh,
you?
God.
Okay. Where's the catalog start?
Right.
Let me try to hit my main ones through.
What
all
made
the
you
shit.
pick up a bass?
Kiss?
Kiss? I figured as much.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, though, Ace Frehley was the guy.
Right.
But I didn't think I could be as good as Ace Frehley, so I love Gene, and I loved what he did on the bass. I think he's an underrated bass player, really.
Right.
So we
I got
had
Destroyer on the wall back behind you there.
So we go through the 70s. We had Kiss, we had Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, AC/DC, and all that. And I grew up when I was a young kid, and then of course when the 80s hit, I was full on, way deep into thrash metal. Testament, of course, Metallica, Violence, Anthrax.
I've seen some shit with
Exodus.
you and Kitty.
Yeah, I love Kitty too for the new metal style. That was an influence too. They were great.
Right.
They got into it super young.
Yeah.
I was like, God,
super young.
Super hot, too.
and then like as time went on, it was like he said, like Lamb of God and all that, and Sepultura and Slayer. Everybody. I just love all kinds. And of course, I got a lot of hardcore influence. I was in Danny Green for a bit.
Right.
They're a great bunch of guys. The whole fucking Bad Brains, Cro-Mags, the early hardcore, and stuff like that. So
nice, Matt.
My main influences growing up, Kiss, obviously, and Sammy Hagar, probably.
Right on.
I was a lot into the, Van Halen stuff, but Sammy Hagar's main, solo stuff I was really into. That was just growing up listening to my dad's shit, And then, yeah.
Everything up here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, especially like ZZ Top a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
But then, as far as metal goes, I listen to everything. I'm mainly into hardcore, but as far as just metal, I'm into a lot of the deathcore stuff. Acacia Strain, Traders, Thy Art Is Murder, stuff
right.
like that. Really cool shit.
Right on. Webster?
Probably blow everybody's minds, but my shit, really I love listening to classical guitar.
Right on.
And I guess that pushes more on the lead side. Classical guitar when I was a kid, on top of the fact that like my dad showed me, the movie The Song Remains the Same. And
I have the vinyl upstairs.
Actually watching, Jimmy Page do what he did with a guitar made me want to play guitar like no other. And then my grandma ended up going to a rummage sale and she bought one for me.
What kind?
That it's a Teleno. And actually,
what?
It's called a Teleno. It's an old school box guitar.
Okay.
And believe it or not, came out to be worth some money.
Hero.
But someone actually, wrote $3 on the side of it with a Sharpie. And so, that's what she bought it for, was $3. That was my first guitar ever. I played it with my thumbs. I taught myself how to play. But it was. Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd.
Oh, yes.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
All the old school guitarists. I didn't even listen to metal until I got old enough to be able to make my own choice to buy my own CDs. I listened to Metallica, if you want to call that metal. It is. It's old school. But
That was thrash, but it changed after the Black Album.
It changed. I listened to Ronnie James Dio. Dust. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Dust before. Oh, you're missing out.
I'll be sure to get.
Dust is a band from the 70s. It was a group of 17-year-old kids that all got together. They all shot their stuff down in the basement. Well, anyways, they opened up for Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all kinds of different bands. You should check them out. They're pretty sweet. But it was bands like that, like old school local bands from St. Louis that my dad had records of that I listened to. That really got me into playing music. And then, of course, now I listen to like After the Burial and Cattle Decapitation, all these wonderful, wholesome-hearted bands. And obviously Viking metal is a huge thing for me. Mon Amarth, Tear, so on and so forth. I love it. I could play it 24 hours a day and not bother me.
Right.
But as far as my actual inspirations go, it's mainly blues and old rock and roll.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mr. Kellerman?
How am I going to follow that shit?
It's like Hanson going on after Slayer.
Burton Seabow for sure. Yeah. That's heavily influenced on
Hanson.
Hell no. Fuck that. Burton Seabow, Max Cavalera, Randy Blythe. That's my main hitters right there. But mainly Fear Factory, I fucking dig Burton shit.
Well, I've seen a video where you guys covered Green Jelly, or Green Jello, whichever they were going by at that time. But I think that one there was probably the one that I was like, okay, I got to go see SKK now. Because I seen that video
that
on
was a staple. That was a staple.
Yeah, for back then.
But Burton for sure, man. That's my main influence.
Really? Nice.
Love Burton's
Awesome vocalist, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
He does shit like you don't hear nobody else do.
Well, you kind of pioneered that, man. Fear Factory kind of pioneered that dry lung martyr fucking vocal shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
His singing voice, dude.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's definitely distinctive.
And really,
It's definitely
people don't know
distinctive.
that about me, but I can hit his shit like that. it's crazy.
Not Abaddon.
Abaddon, you don't.
I'm not even gonna
That sing shit out.
Right? I can't get heavy enough with these fuckers. It's like I can throw anything on the table and it's gonna fly. You know what I mean? I can't get heavy enough.
All right, so now it's story time.
Oh shit.
What is the worst fucking hangover we've ever had? And we're going to start with Ross, because I've heard some stories today.
Yes, recently.
Well, yeah, the one earlier that was pretty brutal, but I don't think that was my worst one. But
You don't think that was your worst one?
No.
Pizza vomit was not your first? Your worst?
Had to rank up to the top five.
yeah, it's definitely my top 5.
That's what she said.
You just started a brand new thing, the top 5 hangovers. We're going to do a year-end review of the top 5 hangovers now.
Horse farms are in there somewhere.
Horse fucking farms. That would make anybody puke if they got any sense.
This motherfucker's gonna do animal porn after that.
Bestiality vomiting. So what's your worst hangover, Russ?
I'd say probably is when I went to go see Whitechapel. And
Where at?
I think there was at Rivers of Nile. It was in the Food Bar, St. Louis.
Oh, I love
And
it.
I went with my buddies, and dude, I've had about 5th at Crown.
Ugh.
Like total. A few beers on top of that, and then we get to moshing and shit. And it's just all,
stirring up in your guts,
in my stomach,
and then you're hot. That place has no AC worth the fuck.
I'm just feeling like shit.
We love Fonch, we love the food bar, but fix your AC, brother.
Yeah, so by the time the show gets done, we get ready to drive home and shit, and I fall asleep and I wake up.
Oh,
I just roll the window down. We're going like
Brown
70, 70 on interstate. And I'm just blowing chunks.
So you're going good.
Blowing chunks out the window, man. I think it's probably hitting cars behind me and shit. Like, it was just bad.
How long were you hungover? Just the next day or a couple?
For a couple days.
A couple days?
That's
it's one of those where you turn your head in bed, you think you're going to barf.
And you were young dude too, so you know you did it right if you're hungover for a couple of days.
How old do you think you were then?
Probably about maybe 22, 23.
Yeah. Just putting the brakes on finally. Yeah.
Jeff, didn't you wake up in a ditch once?
Wait a minute. Okay, I was going to. I had like a top 5 I was going to go with.
So-called Jeff's been calibrated. And Matt just fucking goes with it.
I forgot about the ditch. He just reminded me of a really bad.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so
is this a level of 1 to 5, or is this the number 1?
The level that. Okay, let me just tell it. I went down to go back to Annihilate the Hero.
Yeah.
I went down with my buddy Judson to Annihilate the Hero, and we were drinking a bunch of different beers and this and that and the other thing, and I just was like throwing it down, and then I ended up passing out on the bar. With my long hair, my headband, I took my headband off because I was headbanging to Annihilate the Hero, and then my hair was down, so I fell flat out on the bar, face down, and my hair just like came around me like all over the place at the bar. So I was suffocating on the bar. I was passed out. I didn't know it. And then Judson comes up and taps me on the shoulder and said, "Hey man, are you all right?" And I got up and I was wet with my own juice and sweat. I'm like, oh God. And immediately I'm like, I got to throw up, so I didn't think I could make it to the bathroom, so I went straight out PK's to the right and just projectile vomited all over the side of the bridge.
Right there on the sidewalk.
And then that I don't really remember much, but from what Judson had told me, I was so fucked up I couldn't walk, I couldn't function, I was in this car, shit was spinning, and then I went down by the Amtrak ditch, like Webster mentioned, and I'm like in the ditch. I can't get up. Judson's like, "Dude, are you okay?" He's trying to pick me up, and I can't move. And he told me after the fact that several times that night he was like, as a good friend, he was like, "I was going to call the ambulance in the hospital because I thought you were going to die."
I remember that shit because he messaged me about that. He was worried about it.
But
oh shit,
I'm gonna say that. During the course of the night, and you got to pay attention, even though I was getting fucked up, there was a group of people buying shots, okay? People I didn't quite know.
Yeah.
And somebody handed me a shot from over the back of somebody else, so I didn't see the origination of it. I swear to God, I was drugged that night. I mean, I've never felt like this.
Yeah.
It was the worst feeling. I might have almost been dead because
I'm going to try a date rape.
It was fucked up. You got Luke Judson.
You got A-raped.
But anyway, then he dropped me off at Walmart. My great old lady Nicole came and picked me up and got me home. I got my car the next day, but that was terrible. He just sparked the word. That was terrible.
Judson was so worried about you, man.
Oh, I thought he probably might have almost called the hospital
because
it was bad shit.
I don't know what to do, man. Just fucking hammered, man.
What were you drinking other than the shot that was unannounced?
A bunch of Little Kings, and I think the shot was Fireball that I thought was tainted with some kind of drugs. And then
you got a roofie.
He just got Fireball.
He got the roofie ball. That's horrible.
But also dehydration, because like I said, I was face down on the bar with the hair all around me, and I must have laid there for an hour, and I woke up just drenched in sweat, so I had no hydration.
Where were you at?
PK's.
Oh, PK's,
They played down there.
I got some good ones, man.
Matt, how about yourself? What's the worst hangover you ever had?
Well,
wasn't after the photo shoot.
I'll just tell a good story. All the worst ones I can't remember.
No.
But okay, a good story here. I don't remember what year it was. It was a long time ago, mid 2000s. My band Chain Driven that I was in at the time, we had a show in Carbondale. I don't remember the venue. But anyway, got super fucked up during the show, like always. We always do that shit. And so anyway, I'm flirting with this bartender all night and shit. So anyway, I'm there with my roommate, and anyway, I get this chick, and we go back to my place or whatever. She comes back all the way to McLeansboro from Carbondale. Okay, we're up all night, and then anyway, about 5-something in the morning, she's like, "You gotta take me home." So, my kid and all this. I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm taking this chick back home. We get like halfway, I get pulled over. What was crazy, the cop comes on the passenger side of the car because of some way that he had blocked me in.
Yeah.
So just gives me a speeding ticket. I don't know how the hell I got off of that. Anyway, so I go on, take this chick home. I'm like, all right, and I pass out.
In the car, in her house?
At this chick's house, don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't remember. Anyway, I wake up and I hear, "Fucking Stumbles, is that you?"
Stumbles.
And I'm like, what the
Jimmy
fuck
Staggered.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it used to be my nickname in the SIMC days.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was fucking Chester Armstrong.
Was he with Gogata at that time? Or was
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was still with.
Yeah. Anyway, it was some friend of theirs. We were at his place.
You were at Chester's?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
So I'm in Decoyne at Chester's and all that. Yeah, the rest of them are like all near-death experiences. But that's probably like one of the better stories.
Right.
Because it was just so crazy. I just like woke up at this dude's house and I'm like, I think I saw you last night, but I've traveled like 100 miles in between.
Shit.
Tom Wolfen, man.
Right.
Trumps all.
So Webster, what's your worst hangover?
Oh, shit.
One of them. I mean, I've got like thousands, but
Right.
one of them.
Thousands.
One of the most memorable ones was actually SIMC3, and
Which I was at.
First time I ever
show.
First time I ever met Matt Jones, as a matter of fact. We were hanging out and partying our asses off. I brought 7 12-packs
7.
in the trunk, iced down, like literally in the tarp that's on the trunk. I made a cooler out of the
Fucking
trunk.
Dazed and Confused style.
Yeah,
Tarp
of Budweiser. And I remember watching Chain Driven play, and then I fucking was hollering at Matt Jones. I was like, "Hey man, you guys fucking rock the bass, whatever." I don't even know what he was fucking playing. It was
Right.
that hammered. And I'm like, "Man, you fucking rocked that shit out. You guys played Slayer. That was cool as fuck." Chris Stroll was up there, toe tag. And he was up there, and like everybody, and fucking. Anyways, I didn't know these guys from Adam, but the point was I invited Jones to come out to the fucking car and have a fucking couple beers. So he just got done with the set, so we came out to the car, we were having a couple beers, smashing them, and I just remember smashing beers all night with him and fucking everybody else. Chester, fucking, because at that time it was a drift that was.
Yeah.
I fucking got hammered.
If I recall, to interject, didn't Chester have his arm broken at that show? And he was in a cast running in a big ass circle pit?
Yeah. And, I was trying to drink from.
Actually, no. That was the year before.
Was
That
that
was
SIMC2?
SIMC2, yeah.
Okay, then that was the show I was at.
So 3, anyways, the point is, like, Gogata played, everybody was having a great time. Lunatic played. I met Andy the first time there, but I don't fucking remember his name. That's the point, though.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember his name. so we ended up getting hammered all fucking night at this after party. I ended up getting in a fight with my girlfriend at the time. Like, told her to fuck off. She drove all the way. She drove all the way back to Carbondale. Unfortunately, with what was left over of that beer in that trunk.
Beer trunk.
So
beer trunk.
Yeah, it was her car or her friend's car. I can't fucking remember whose it was. But the point was they drove off with all that shit, so I ended up getting hammered on everybody else's shit at this party. And I remember waking up the next day outside laying in the grass. and fucking, I was laying in puke, and it was clearly mine.
Clearly. I would hope, clearly. If not, you're going to claim it just for keepsake.
Claiming it for the fact that
Peace of mind.
Yes, I don't want to know if that's
And I remember
Julie's.
waking up and like trying to figure out where the fuck I'm at. Somehow I'm back in McLeansboro. And I think it was Joe and Steve's house. And somehow I'm back there. I don't even know how I got there. And I remember being in DeCoy. And suddenly I wake up in the yard of McLeansboro. It's hot as hell.
Tom
I
Wolf.
feel like shit. And I remember being hungover for like 4 days at my parents' house, like not being able to recover. I was 17 at the time.
Hey, you know you did it right for 17.
Oh, that's. I think those are the worst ones when you're young.
Not me, man.
But, you know what I'm saying for the rest of us. Yeah, but you drink shit that kills squirrels and shit.
It's the worst when you're young because you don't already know how.
Yeah, it tastes great.
Suck. Yeah,
it tastes great. Next thing you know, it doesn't taste great.
When you get older, you hit that limit where you're like, I already know how bad I'm gonna feel.
Yeah, you stop.
Yeah.
You hit that red button. Oh. So Kellerman, what's your? Were you
Here's the
done?
next one.
You got time, bro?
Oh yeah.
Time.
Shit. All right, here we go. It's gonna get good here. Just gonna know what I'm talking about on this one.
It was 1942.
Nah,
We just gotten out of the war.
Vietnam was a hell of a war. No.
That happened in the '60s, brother.
World War I, man. Whatever stuff. But
He's our
I'm
historian.
fucking done with you.
He's our historian. That's why you know you can't trust his stories.
Fucking
no,
claw.
this one is a real story.
The fucking claw.
Just gonna back me up on this one.
Backing up.
Old school SKK days.
Yep.
We played Arizona Joe's if I'm going wrong. Fucking Blitzkrieg, man.
Oh, I know where he's going.
Yeah, I already know. You know, ex-girlfriend, whatever the fuck. Who, whatever.
Right.
You know, we was together at the time. I had my old fucking 2001 Ranger. Fucking rolling from the show, man. Rolling from the fucking show, hitting the back streets trying to avoid shit. I take a wrong left turn, go down the side of the fucking train tracks, man. Like riding in the fucking actual gravel. I'm like, where the fuck is this at? Where is this? I better turn around. I'm with the fucking wheel dude, jumped the tracks, man. Got hung up on the motherfucking tracks, blew the tire out. Fucking reversing, driving.
Inches from the car, the engine.
I'm like, fuck. I was like, Jeff, you gotta get down and help me, man. You gotta get down and help me now.
I'm like, where are you at? What the fuck?
Yeah. So him and Steve-O rolled down there, man. And Jeff's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, bro.
Well, wait a minute. Before you forget about the story, is I was a two-time loser.
Yes, but I don't know.
You were supposed to give me a ride home, so I was hammering Jägermeister shots. I got a ride, and you left. And you didn't and now you need my fucking help. I'm like, oh, now this motherfucker needs my help.
I don't know what's funnier.
Like a fucking
blamed him or called himself a two-time loser.
He was telling me to come get him. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be my ride. Now I gotta come help you. I don't know where you're at.
This is real shit. You cannot make this fucking But I jumped this motherfucker on the tracks and blew out the front tire on this cocksucker. I'm stuck, man. Two-wheel drive truck. Almost got off there, but didn't make it.
Where the fuck were you?
It's a truck.
He hasn't even mentioned that he was this close to the engine.
Oh yeah, then these motherfuckers started firing up engine shit. I'm like, man, my fucking truck's stuck. You're
talking about the railroad engines?
Oh, yeah,
he was this close.
Train, man. That's how excited I'm getting on this story, man, because it's a fucking Uzi truck.
No wonder he asked if I had time.
But, you know, man, all of a sudden, I walk up to the fucking engineer station, whatever the fuck it is, and I'm like, hey, man.
The man with the train.
Don't hit my truck.
Can I get a tow truck out here and pull my truck off the tracks? What are you doing down here? You ain't supposed to be down here. I'm like, I know.
That's why I asked for a tow truck.
I was like, call a fucking tow truck. Well, here comes the fucking PD down here. I'm like, fuck, here we go.
Oh, shit.
So they come down there. And Old lady's freaking at that time. She's like, God damn
She's
it."
crying.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's what they look for. Shut the fuck up.
That's what they look
That's the best story ever. I was like, you gotta be calm with these cocksuckers, man.
Yes, you do.
That's real.
You're fucking Centralia. You're going to jail for fucking batting an eye the wrong
Go
way.
to jail immediately.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. Well, then the tow truck driver comes out there and shit, and he lifts the truck up, and he's like, man, I'm gonna let you go ahead and change the tire. He goes, I don't fucking hammer. You can do it. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I gotta solve this. So I changed my tire and shit. Cop's like, well, he goes, you don't seem that bad. I'm like, oh man, I'm cool. And
I'm cool.
He's like, I'll just give you a trespassing ticket for coming down here because I had to come down here. I got called down here. So I got off with a $100 trespassing
But I think part of the thing that saved your ass is there was a big brawl at the industrial.
Yeah, you're in Centralia. Was it Friday night? We got to go.
He's like, man, he goes, I got to roll, man. He goes, I'm just going to give you a trespassing ticket because I had to come down here. I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that. You know, so that's one story.
Oh.
That's it.
That's
You
all we got.
don't get a second one. You got to give that person. You got to
Save
give that
that
person.
for the next case.
Yeah.
All right, next time.
Bring that one
And
back.
I just remembered one too, so I'll save one too.
There you go.
Because I wasn't even thinking about the hangover part. I was thinking about the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll do that next time.
Those make
I'll
for the
tell
better
about
stories.
the
Right.
Mount Mayhem
That's a good one,
hangover
though.
next time.
All right, that's all we got for you guys this week. Abaddon, I love you guys. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. I know, Matt, you had to drive a good distance to get here. I appreciate it, guys. Denny Blackwell, thank you for being on the podcast. Thanks for calling in, man. We really appreciate it. I will get at you later about future endeavors. This is Baldy. Melhorns up. Love you guys.
destroy you. Destroy.
Shooting the shit with Baldy. is a SIMM program. All music is owned by the band or artist. Visit www.sim-618.com/podcast for more episodes. Visit a venue near you and support live local music.